All right, Bill, you ready to talk about the death of Superman?
Oh, the comic?
No.
The animated movie?
Nope.
The other animated movie?
Try again.
Batman versus Superman?
Nope.
That episode of the Justice League cartoon where everyone thought Superman was dead, but he was actually transported to a post-apocalyptic future where he hung out with a crazy Vandal Savage?
No, not that one either.
Then which one?
TV show.
Oh.
Welcome back to the Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris, that's Bill, and today we are talking about Superman and Lois, Season 4, the final season. So, Bill, what did you think of Superman and Lois, the final season?
It's great, but also very sad ending.
Yeah, I mean,
Bit of an emotional roller coaster.
it's kind of weird. You know, it's kind of like the show kind of has like a weird thing that I've noticed throughout this entire run of the Superman show. It's very good, but he does fight Superman in every like season, or an evil version of Superman.
Yes.
It like kind of just has that like one gear. And of course they had to do, you know, death of Superman.
Well, I mean, considering where last season ended with him fighting Doomsday on the moon.
Yes. Who Doomsday is just another version of Superman technically.
It is a mutated Bizarro Superman in this series.
Yeah. But yeah, it is pretty epic how it starts, like straight up fighting Doomsday in space, like on the moon. It's like, holy shit, this is insane.
They get all the way to the asteroid belt or something.
Yeah. I don't know, you know, it's kind of crazy because this is part of the Arrowverse, sort of. Like, it was, then it wasn't. But
It's still Arrowverse adjacent.
yeah, like with one like character, it's just like, hey, look, John Diggle. Who else is in it? What about Supergirl? Yeah, shut up.
Where's Green Arrow? He's dead.
Yeah.
Ah, again? Jeez.
Yeah, it's like, what about the Flash? He's also dead.
He doesn't exist.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. It's been an interesting run of this show, and
Cut short through various corporate shenanigans.
indeed. Yeah, you know, the final season, I guess, like, the main thing about this final season was, like, hey, look, it's Lex Luthor. And he's, like, kind of like a different type of Lex Luthor, but not in a bad way. He's,
No.
like, more, I guess, like, ruthless.
He's unhinged. He's got nothing left to lose, and all he wants is revenge.
Yeah.
Why won't you die?
He's not particularly, like, the genius Lex Luthor.
Not as much.
Yeah,
No.
but he has like a company, so I guess he's just like, you know,
He's smart to a point, but he doesn't seem to be a tech genius.
yeah, he's not like inventing like crazy shit and everything. He just gets people to do that for him. But like, I guess like the main thing with him is just like he's just like ruthless, and I guess in some ways he is like 100% a sociopath.
Oh, yeah.
Like he has like no empathy for anything. And like just like doesn't understand when like people are like, well, I don't want to be around you. He's like, why? I've given you everything.
You're my daughter.
Yeah.
Grr.
You're my daughter who's now British because
Be part of my life, even though I still want to murder everyone.
when I murder everybody, everything will be okay then. Yeah, he's kind of weird, you know? I mean,
He's got severe tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Such severe tunnel vision that he never even thought of getting revenge on the guy who actually helped frame and put him in prison.
yeah,
Which, that bit him in the ass in the end.
sure did.
In possibly more ways than one.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying, it's prison.
Yeah, that's true. Don't drop the soap.
Oh, they're going to knock the soap the fuck out of his hand.
Oh, man. But yeah, you know, it's been a Superman show. We finally did get Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
You know, even at some points where, you know, it's just like, when's he gonna look like Lex Luthor? He's got his like big Santa Claus beard, and
Yeah, this was the era of TV Lex Luthors, and they all had beards for some reason.
yeah,
What is up with that?
I don't know.
Supergirl Lex Luthor, beard. Titans Lex Luthor, beard. This guy, beard, till he did it.
It's true.
Finally shaved it, put on a suit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he looks like classic Lex Luthor now. Yeah, you know, he was pretty good. Like, it was an interesting take on Luthor.
And, you know, it's Superman's arch enemy, so if you're going to have a final villain for the final season, kind of the best one to do.
Yeah. It is kind of funny how it's like, you know, it's very much like Superman the TV show, though, because it's like, you know, Superman's like mostly in like Smallville in this season. It's like, yeah, we get a little glimpse of Metropolis at one point, but I feel like it was like they were mostly on that street with like the diner and then like the hotel across the street. It's like, this is the sets we built.
Yeah.
And the Kent's home.
I mean, we don't have that much money to shoot in downtown Vancouver this season, so we got to keep that a little limited.
Yeah, we got the Gazette set. That's okay. And then I guess, we had the Lex Luthor office set at one point towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. Superman did straight up die. He got his heart ripped out Mortal Kombat style.
Yeah, that was the most unique thing about this particular death of Superman, in that usually when Superman and Doomsday fight, both of them die.
Yeah.
But Doomsday lived, and Superman didn't.
Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of weird, too, how, like, Bizarro Superman mutated into, like, Doomsday. It's kind of, like, weird and vague how it just, like, happened. It's just, like, oh, is it because he got, like, mutated by the X-Kryptonite, and then he just, every time he, like, was, I guess, like, killed, he just would come back stronger, like the Doomsday comic, pretty much.
More or less what I think happened.
And, like, Lex Luthor's just like, I'm gonna, like, hit you in the head with this, like, sledgehammer while I listen to my tapes. Just like, if the sledgehammer doesn't hurt you, this outdated tape music will. But, yeah, it was kind of weird.
And points for this Lex Luthor's ruthlessness when Jordan tries to retrieve his father's heart. Lex just stomps on it.
Yeah, that was pretty extreme. I thought it was interesting that they finally were like, Jonathan has powers.
Yeah, that was definitely a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, because, like, I was not expecting it at this point, where it was just like, okay, I guess, like, Jordan's the one with the powers, and then Jonathan's just gonna be normal, and then they're like, no, he has powers too.
The trauma of his dad dying triggered it.
Yeah, and in some ways he got, like, all the powers all at once, just to, like, catch up to his brother.
Yeah, and he's immediately better at it than him.
Yeah.
Because Jordan's a whiny little punk sometimes.
Yeah, I always forget if Jordan had the ice breath too.
He kind of got them all like slowly.
Okay.
Like he didn't, not everything triggered at once, but I remember him having the ice breath and everything. It just
took a while.
Yeah, like not as like slow as like Clark in like Smallville, but over the course of that first season, it was like eye lasers, my hearing.
Yeah. It's interesting too because, like, we have like their new Fortress of Solitude, which is like in the middle of the ocean, and then there's like the hologram Clark Superman in there that we literally saw for like maybe 1 or 2 episodes.
It was just the one.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was like, oh shit, he really is gonna be gone for a while, because I thought, like, oh, that's how we keep him in the season. He's gonna be hologram man for a bit.
Yeah.
But then he was just back the next episode.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not gonna lie, seeing like him dead, and then he's now a hologram like his parents before him, I'm like, oh God. Like, that was kind of devastating.
Yeah. Yeah, for a while they really like led you on to being like, he's dead now and forever. But like eventually he does get resurrected.
Yeah, Sam Lane had some other ideas. He was trying to make it a better idea than his last minute, I guess this will have to do plan when Doomsday came for him.
Yeah, seriously. I guess it was like the Doomsday blood or whatever he injected into himself.
It like kind of augmented his heart to be more compatible with the Kryptonian.
Yeah.
But, it was still the heart of a man in his like, what, 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
68-year-old man or whatever, how old he was supposed to be in the show.
Yeah.
He was in the show a little bit more than I thought he would be, just because, like, it almost seemed like last season they set it up for, like, he dead. That lady killed him.
I had heard that he was supposed to be in 3, but he's only in 2.
Did he have a quick cameo in the final episode?
No, I thought he might have, but he didn't.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. He died, episode 1 and 2 aired the same night, so I watched them back to back, so they kind of like blur together, and then he dies in episode 3.
Yeah. I don't know. The season was really good, and in some ways it's a little bit of a shame that the show got cut short because, it was a really good show.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at least it had a good finale, and it didn't get, like, abruptly canceled.
It helps that they knew going in that this was the final season. It wasn't like, we're making this season, we don't know for sure, so we kind of have to like jury rig the finale halfway through the season to be a definitive ending. They knew from jump when they started writing, this is it. We're headed to the end.
Yeah.
So and it feels like that. It doesn't feel like Stargirl. It was a good show, but the last episode you can tell it's like, okay, they didn't know for sure whether or not they were going to cancel it or not. So we get this like tacked on final 5 minutes that sort of wraps everything up a little better than the ending that they maybe would have been stuck with had they not done that, because they were clearly setting stuff up, and then it's like, oh, never mind, that all worked out, don't worry.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. And of course, you got the Legends of Tomorrow ending, where they were foolish and they got canceled on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, they sure were.
And they deserved it.
Yeah, I guess they did at this point.
I mean, I'm not even saying necessarily the show, but honestly, the characters probably deserved it. All those time crimes they've committed.
Seriously. So many time crimes.
So many various time crimes.
It is kind of weird that, Arrowverse finally got like Superman, and then it's like, it's over now.
To be fair, they got Superman all the way back in 2016.
That's true, and he was involved in some of those crossovers where they're like, hey, look, evil Superman. We're going to fight an evil Superman.
Hey, look, a brainwashed Superman. He's going to fight a brainwashed Superman.
Yeah, that's never going to get old. Why?
I don't know.
Why? Is it just cheaper?
No, because in some ways, when it's also him fighting himself, but when the himself becomes Doomsday, that's not cheap. That's expensive.
That was like Arrowverse is one thing for Superman. It's just like, what if he's evil?
But he fights the good one.
And even like the live action movies were like hinting at, what if Superman went evil? Look at this hell world that Batman's in. Do you like desert punk Batman?
I mean, he looks cool, but all this is confusing and strange.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Had this show gone on a more organic run that it probably could have had shenanigans not ensued, there's a chance we would have had another Superman versus Superman fight with that evil black suit Superman from Steel's world, right?
Yeah,
that was always in the background of like, that might come up again. It never did.
Yeah.
Probably thankfully, but that was something that they might have been like, maybe we'll do this.
Yeah, that's like one unresolved thing where like it's like he could have showed up and he's like, I found you, John Henry, and it's like, oh no,
here we go again.
Here's evil Superman.
Oh man.
Not too many unresolved like plot holes, Superman's like brother, I guess, is just like in Bizarro world.
Yeah, he just moved there and that was that.
Yeah.
That was one thing missing from this final season, like a one-off appearance by him, but
yeah,
I think it was a matter of timing and money and just being able to, so a lot of things they couldn't do.
Yeah.
It really sucks is, we both saw the image of John Henry in a proper steel suit.
Looked great. Got like it at the end slightly.
Yeah, which was nice to see, and that made me happy. But then knowing, oh, wait, they actually made one? They've had one for some amount of time?
Yeah.
And it must have been made when they didn't know for sure whether or not the next season was going to be the last, because they obviously knew they were going to do a version of Death of Superman. And what happens in the Death of Superman? John Henry Irons puts a metal S on his chest and fights for justice.
Yeah.
So that was probably in the plan, but when budget gets cut and you got to drop most of your series regulars,
yeah,
you don't really have time to be able to give John Henry that showing because he's only in 3 episodes.
Yeah, seriously. Then we got like Jordan and John with their Superman suits at like the very end.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, hey, look, they got suits finally.
It's the 90s Superboy suit and the new 52 Superboy suit.
Yeah.
Can't believe they did that one.
Yeah, seriously. They should have just had like John do like the black T-shirt with the red S.
Nah.
But I guess people would be like, oh, we saw that in Smallville. It was blue though.
This was fine. It was neat to see.
Yeah. It was okay. I mean, it was fun, for the most part. Like, it's like everybody got their happy ending.
Sort of.
John Henry got married to Lana.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of just goes like super far into the future after like, the final fight between Superman and Lex Luthor. I mean, it is kind of insane that, Clark Kent and Lex Luthor have a fight in like red sunlight.
Oh, that was cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's how you work around a decreased budget. It's like, oh, well, Lex Luthor's crafty. He'd get some red sun lamps and try to fight Superman mano-a-mano and then find out, oh, crap, he's good at fighting.
Yeah.
He was stronger than I thought he was.
Yeah. He was a corn-fed Kansas boy. Damn it.
I've been in prison for years.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be better than him.
Yeah.
But it turns out, even then, I'm not. That drives me crazy.
Yeah. It is weird. Lex Luthor's obsession. It's like, I'm going to move LexCorp to, like...
Smallville, just because.
Yeah. It's like Smallville. It's just like this weird town nobody's ever heard of, but like the most important town in the world, probably eventually. Because that's where Superman's from.
Yeah, because, you know, it gets harder and harder for him to hide the secret, especially after he died and came back. And
Yeah.
you know, he reveals his identity to the public, which I think it's happened once or twice in the comics. I'm not a big fan of that in general, because, I mean, I can live with it because the show ended 3 episodes later.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things I'm like, you kind of write yourself into a corner with that.
Yeah, and, you know, in some ways it's like, it works out better for like an older Superman too.
And this is a Superman that's been doing it for like 20 years.
Yeah, so like, you know, he's like, you know, well into his 40s, I guess,
Yeah.
at this point. It's
Yeah.
just like, people know who Superman is. Like, it's kind of weird, you know, Superman just being in the public. And like, everybody's like, oh, okay, cool.
And it almost seems like, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, we see a lot of tourists flocking to Smallville to catch glimpses of the super family.
Yeah.
And I'm like, does Smallville become a tourist destination because that's the home of Superman? And does that, in turn, save this town from its financial ruin?
I mean, yeah, I guess so, because,
Which
you know,
was a kind of an ongoing thread. And I'm like, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I feel like that's what would happen. You know, you build a little statue, you build you build a museum. People go there to see like all like the stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe Superman is like, "Hey, how's it going?" Shakes
Yeah.
people's hands, signs some autographs.
How's it going? I'm getting eggs from that diner that everybody eats at. Just that one. Nowhere else. Not like in Man of Steel with the IHOP. We actually have a proper mom and pop shop.
No corporate sponsorships here,
Guess not.
which they probably could have used some for that
Yeah,
for some of the
seriously.
CGI budget.
I mean, like, would a Doomsday fight inside a Krispy Kreme not have been awesome? I don't know.
What is this, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
It's the most blatant one in my mind. And I guess the Man of Steel with like the IHOP in the background where it's just like, look, it's IHOP.
I mean, the IHOP, they crash into it, they fly out of it, it's there for like 6 seconds. The Krispy Kreme, they linger on that, and they keep saying Krispy Kreme over and over again.
There's that part in the IHOP too where Superman crashes into the IHOP and then some kid's like, I'm the local magician of this IHOP. Would you like to see a magic trick?
No. That's something that actually happened to us.
Yes. IHOP's weird.
I shot that kid down so fast.
So that's all I think about. And when I think of IHOP now, it's just like, there's some kid trying to do magic at an IHOP.
And I was having none of it.
Yeah. Would have been like 15 minutes of, is this your card? No.
I feel like no matter what he did, I would just say no.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm pretty sure it's not.
Yeah.
So, you know, back to Superman.
Yes.
Doomsday's final form.
Looked great.
Holy crap. He was bony as hell.
It looked better than the movie version.
Both versions of this Doomsday look better than that.
Yeah. I guess Doomsday can only really been... I mean, he's been done on TV before, and
2 other times.
Krypton Doomsday looked pretty good, right?
Yeah, Doomsday on Krypton was really good.
Yeah.
He looked good. He was dangerous as hell. It's like, I mean, look, movie Doomsday. I think you look better than the Smallville one.
Yeah, but that was a different time.
I know.
That was the before times.
They didn't have the money to do a really cool looking Doomsday.
No.
They tried to hide it in the shadows mostly, so it's good for them to do that.
Yeah.
But when you see it out like brightly lit, it's like, whoa!
Yeah.
But yeah, no, spikes.
Why was the movie version afraid of the spikes? I
I
mean,
don't know. He got like a little bit of spikes, but not enough.
he is like what everybody says. He looks like a Lord of the Rings troll or whatever.
Yeah, and they just put out a McFarlane figure of that Doomsday, and I'm just like, that's the most disappointing figure ever.
Just like holding this, and you're just like, man, it's official. This figure sucks.
There's no way to save that design.
No,
And I don't know why they went with that.
I don't know.
It doesn't look cool.
He doesn't. Yeah, like regular Doomsday looks cool. He's got his like bones and
Yes.
you know. I always liked the Doomsday that briefly was in the Justice League cartoon that could actually like talk.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But like they've never really gone back to like what if Doomsday talked.
It happens in the comics sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They just go like full like monster mode Doomsday usually,
Hmm.
which I guess is fine, you know.
That is kind of his classic default form.
Yeah,
Just berserker rage monster.
yeah, it's weird. This version of Doomsday was Bizarro. He also had like a few moments of like remembering who he was until I guess like him being transformed into Doomsday just kind of like turned him into like a primitive mind to like
Yeah,
destroy
whatever-
everything because I'm
yeah.
in constant pain, I guess.
Yeah, and then, but after he gets clocked in the skull by Steel's hammer, he kind of regains a bit of a sense of self,
Yeah,
and is just like, accepts his, throw me in the sun.
yeah.
And I just remember thinking like, wait, Clark, his heart, take his heart,
Take his heart.
take his heart.
Finish him! Finish him!
Because I'm just like, no, this means Superman's gonna die. I know how this plays out.
Oh man,
Granted, he dies like, I don't know, 20 years later.
it was more than that. It was like 30 years later.
So, yeah. But still,
Yeah,
just saying.
he had a full life.
He did.
We got to see his sons turn into like weird-looking men. I just like couldn't help but like notice that where it's just like these random like guys playing like the sons, and I'm like, who are these weird-looking men here?
Well, I don't know which one, but one of them is the Elizabeth Tulloch's husband.
Okay,
So that's how that happened.
okay,
And I mean, and they're both married. They got wives who are, well, one of them's definitely not Sarah because they were like the will they won't they of the show, and they
Yeah.
won't.
no,
They won't.
definitely not.
She's like his Lana.
Yeah,
It's like,
pretty much.
yeah, we had a thing, but yeah, we didn't work like that.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Did John marry Candace? I don't know.
maybe.
Maybe.
But one of those ladies had dark hair.
Could've been
The other
Candace.
had like blonde hair, so who knows?
Whose wife was who? I don't know. But they
Yeah.
had a whole bunch of kids. Between Lois and Clark, had a whole mess of grandbabies.
Yeah.
And then Lois' cancer came back.
They never alluded to do the grandbabies have powers.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We don't get that far. They're still young.
Yeah. I
Like
guess
they're-
that's true.
Like Clark, we don't know how many years Clark's lived without Lois. Long enough to spend a number of years hanging out with the dog.
Yeah. This is like we got Crypto in there.
Of course.
His
If,
golden retriever.
if Superman has a dog in a show and it's not named Crypto, what have you done?
Yeah.
What have you done?
Seriously. Part of me though,
It's like Batman not having a dog named Ace.
Yeah. Part of me was just a little disappointed though. It's like I like golden retrievers; they're fun dogs. But like I'm like, you couldn't have gotten a white dog for Crypto.
Yeah,
You know,
mean,
that's how he's supposed to look. Come on.
I mean, I don't disagree. I don't
Like-
disagree. Titans found a white dog.
Yeah.
You could have just found that dog.
Yeah. Seriously.
He seems like a good boy.
Yeah.
Look, the dog's in the show for like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make a big deal about it.
It's important though.
I think, history repeats itself. Clark has the heart attack, more or less where his dad had one.
Yeah.
But he had a guy who knew first aid standing next to him and lived just long enough to die in front of his sons.
Yeah.
And then he goes to heaven?
I guess. Vague afterlife / like seeing younger versions of people too.
Forgiving Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
And of course, finds Lois
Yep.
in his favorite dress.
There you go. It's a good ending to the show.
We saw this Superman's full life, more or less.
Yeah.
Because the ending montage was very similar to the beginning montage from the first episode. Clark narrating it and everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Chris, we've been told this entire show by a ghost.
Oh my God.
This show is haunted.
He was dead the whole time.
Oh my God. Here lies the world's greatest hero.
Yeah. But, overall, it was a pretty good show. It's amazing that they were able to pull off Superman on TV as well as they did. I mean, we've had a few attempts over the years.
Yes.
It's like the more modern version of Lois and Clark. Remember that show?
It also went 4 seasons,
Oh, yeah.
as did Superboy.
Huh. Well, Lois and Clark had way more episodes, though, because it was 4 old school seasons.
It was network television
Yeah.
back in the day. This had, I think, clocked at like 53 episodes.
Okay.
It's not a bad number in this day and age.
Yeah, not too bad, honestly. Like, those first 2 seasons were a little more lengthy. But
Yeah, they're
then,
around 15, 16 episodes each, and then last season was 13, and this one was 10.
yeah. So overall, more than a streaming show, I guess. We're just like, you get 6, maybe 8.
And in 4 years, you'll get 6 more.
Yeah.
Unless we cancel you.
So like in 4 years, you'll get the next season where it's just like, why are Superman's sons like in their 30s now?
I thought this show was about kids. Why does everyone look like they're 42? Shut up.
Yeah.
It's a good thing Cobra Kai's ending.
Yeah, seriously.
Some of those kids are getting a little too old.
It's like Stranger Things where they're just like, man, are we ever going to graduate high school?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's like, that kid's got gray hair. What the hell?
Man. Yeah, seriously.
It's like Marvel and their Young Avengers. Half of them are pushing 30 already.
That's true.
And they haven't even teamed up.
It's true. I think if you're old enough to have like graduated college, I don't think you can be a young Avenger. You're just an Avenger at this point.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. But it was like the tail end of the Arrowverse, at least during this era. I guess it was only really involved in like maybe one crossover as the show aired, but
No, it never crossed. There was nothing. After?
so this was after Crisis,
Yes.
100%.
100%
Okay.
after Crisis.
Okay.
After Crisis on Infinite Earths, Tyler Hoechlin Superman never appeared in anything but this.
Okay. So
There was like a couple of references to like Clark and whatnot in The Flash that during like the first season, but like once they were like, we're done, stop talking about us.
yeah. It's like it's over.
We're done.
Done
Supergirl,
professionally.
shut up. We are done with you and your shenanigans.
Yeah, it is kind of funny that like it didn't even get like a Supergirl being like, "Hey, what's up?" But I don't know what happened at the end of Supergirl. For all I know, she went into the future.
I only know for sure is that it ends with her revealing her identity to the public.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing I know for sure.
I guess that's the thing with super people shows.
There's a few like weirdly similar parallels to some of the other Arrowverse finales.
Okay.
Because, Arrow ended with Oliver and Felicity in the afterlife, reunited.
yeah.
Supergirl ends with her revealing her identity to the public. The Flash ends with a montage of him creating more heroes for the future, and we see a shot of Superman's super team of him, the Superboys, Steel, and Starlight. I think she is her code name.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think they mentioned
That works.
Yeah, they mentioned
Yeah.
like once or twice. So
Yeah, I don't know if like she would just pick another metal. It's like it's steel and
I mean,
iron.
I know there's been times where the character that she's loosely based on was Steel,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't like characters sharing code names.
Yeah, I
That's
like that
stupid.
better. Starlight. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, because that gets confusing in the heat of battle.
Yeah.
When you can't all have the same call sign.
It's better than she steel, I guess.
Seriously.
But-
Ay.
Yeah. I guess the only regret with the show, just knowing that Steel suit exists, it's like, man, we could have got more Steel stuff with Steel actually looking like Steel.
And there's also the Brainiac of it all.
Oh, yeah.
There's that guy, Milton.
Right.
They even refer to him as a Brainiac, and I was like, don't toy with me, show. Don't you fucking toy with me.
It's like, we're not doing this show.
And then they show him on the computer, and he's hacking the Steel suit, and then they show the 3 freaking circles, and I'm like, don't you toy with me, Ricky Bobby.
Seriously.
I'm not gonna lie. There was like part of me that like I didn't want to get my hopes up. And
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't. Because he just wasn't that. I'm like, are we gonna do a handbrake turn and just have Brainiac in like the last 2 episodes?
I thought for a second when you told me, like, hey, there's a Brainiac reference, I'm like, oh, it's like Lex Luthor's, like, Steel suit that's modified. Its AI is just going to be called Brainiac. But it wasn't.
No. I think that's like one of the things they wanted to hopefully do if the show had gone on.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. That's
But-
like the last like thing that I'm like, that's the one thing I have not seen Superman do. Fight Brainiac proper.
Yeah.
Like Brainiac, not a guy who's called Brainiac. I'm looking at you, Smallville.
Oh, yeah.
Just Brainiac. Like the guy on Krypton. We had a cool Brainiac, but what show was he in, Chris? Was he in the show with Superman?
No.
He was not in the show with Superman.
To be fair, the Krypton show kind of was a better prequel to Superman stuff than Gotham was, even though that was cut short pretty fast.
Gotham was on for 5 seasons.
No, I know, but I said Krypton was cut short.
Yeah, Krypton was cut
Yeah,
short.
Gotham
Yeah.
was on forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Gotham was on long enough for Batman to actually appear in it.
well, I think that I assume that they always had this sort of like, yeah, you'll get Batman for 2 seconds at the end.
Yeah. Also, all Batman's like villains are probably like 15 years older than him, so
Some of them more.
Batman has a pretty good advantage on a lot of these people.
100%. I mean, a lot of those villains aren't fighters to begin with.
That's true.
When has Riddler ever won a fist fight against Batman?
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's like Joker and all those Batman villains are about their circuitous schemes, and then Batman just like punches them and is like, no.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even call Krypton a prequel anyway. It's more like a. Yeah, one of the actors referred to it as like it's kind of like an Elseworlds because of like alternate timeline shenanigans happen
Oh yeah, right.
because history
that-
gets changed.
I guess that show was like very complicated from the start.
I mean, time traveling's odd, so yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, look, this show got to do a version of Bizarro, Doomsday, a version of Parasite, Lex frickin' Luthor.
Yeah,
We got to see Steel teaming up with Superman. Never saw that before.
yeah. I guess sort of like a version of Mercy, just because of like
Why
that
wasn't she
lady
Mercy?
Amanda, which is just like, why just make her Mercy at this point?
What was that about?
Yeah, it
That was weird.
was weird. It was like that character was like 100% like Mercy Graves, like, but
Yeah, it
like,
felt that way.
but it was just like her name's Amanda, like O'Malley or something. I don't know. She had a weird name. That
Yeah,
was just
I
like,
don't know. That was strange.
I was like, really, guys?
It's weird because, like, he had, like, Otis. He couldn't have freaking Mercy? I don't get it.
Yeah. Did the people not making the show just not realize that, or
I don't know.
or was it a weird like WB thing, being like, you can't use that character because she's gonna be in a movie? All these characters are gonna be in movies now.
They had Jimmy Olsen this season.
Yeah. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
I guess Jimmy Olsen definitely proved that this is not the Superman from Supergirl, because Jimmy Olsen is a nerd in this show and he's not cool.
he's also white.
He's also white.
It's pretty. I mean, the fact that, a couple of, like, Sam Lane was a different guy and
Yeah.
Maxwell Lord was a
Oh.
different guy. Oh, no, Morgan Edge. It was
Morgan
Morgan Edge.
Edge, yeah.
Morgan Edge was Superman's brother from Krypton.
That's right.
He was just some old guy in Supergirl.
Oh man.
So, yeah, a lot. I mean, granted, there was post-crisis, pre-crisis stuff that you could have explained a lot of that stuff away with, but different universe. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's for the best that those shows were separated.
Yeah.
That they both got to do their own thing, which is fine. I prefer that.
Yeah. It's really good. Tyler Hoechlin, really great Superman.
Yeah.
Like underrated, I think, in many ways, because like,
It does feel like the show's getting more attention recently.
I mean, like it should, because like they really did put a lot of effort in like the action, what little action they did have. It looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially for network TV. This is not like streaming like Disney Plus show that costs like $250 million.
It almost puts that stuff to shame because it's like, you're spending all this money and we look about the same level of quality.
Yeah.
Also, like, what are you doing?
It's the Shin Godzilla of superhero shows.
I was going to say it's the Godzilla -1.
Oh yeah, Godzilla -1.
I
Yeah,
think Shin Godzilla might have had a bigger budget than
it probably
-1.
did. I meant -1, but I don't know why I went to Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla sucks.
Godzilla's fine. I gotta rewatch it.
I guess it's okay, but Godzilla -1 is really good because it actually has like really good human characters
Yes.
and just like evil Godzilla. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
and it was made for like $50 million or something.
It sounds like it might have been less than 15 million.
Oh,
Because people
wow.
were saying 15 million, and the director was like, "I wish it was that much." And I'm like, "Oh my god,
Oh man,
they made that movie for $20 in a dream."
yeah,
And that's what this show was. It was
Yeah.
like, this was made on a dream, damn it.
seriously, it looked really good. Like,
Yeah, and it put the other shows in the Arrowverse to shame because
Yeah.
of that. It's like, why do they look like this and you look like crap?
seriously,
What are you doing?
At least those later Flash seasons looked really bad.
Yeah, like the first,
Like Arrow kind of always looked pretty good and consistent.
It helps that they didn't have to worry about too much CG stuff.
Yeah. Those first 2 seasons of Flash, I remember looking very good. But
Yeah,
then again,
they-
that was like 10 years ago.
They
so.
bought it. They still look okay.
Okay.
But they just bottom out.
Yeah.
Same thing with Supergirl. Like, I remember it looking mostly fine, and then, like, I've seen stuff from like the seasons I didn't watch, and I'm like, this looks like slightly above Power Rangers.
Oh, man. Okay.
I'm just saying, there's some stuff where I'm like, yo, whoa.
I guess like the only thing about this season of Superman and Lois that like kind of was a little weird was like, why is the Superman suit so dark?
Yeah, it was kind of weird because there was scenes, the color grading or something made it look black.
Yeah, and I was just like, were they trying to do like black suit Superman and then like kind of chickened out, or?
I don't know, because then we see it in like later on, it looks better, and I don't understand.
Yeah, just like,
It was weird.
yeah, it's like his suit was a little off this season. Cause
I'm
I
sh-
mean, for
I'm-
the most part, his suits have looked great.
Yeah, it was weird. I was shocked that they even made a new suit. I was like, come on, guys, I thought we were crunching money here.
Yeah,
Couldn't just keep using the suit from last season?
suits disintegrate pretty much as soon as we're done, like making this show.
I don't
So
know.
who knows?
Could have held up for 10 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
They had it in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, besides that, really good show.
I'm going to miss it.
Yeah.
It was just nice to have a really good Superman thing. Like, I liked Man of Steel, but Man of Steel came out in 2013.
Yeah.
And this show premiered in 2021. That's a long time without a proper, just Superman live action thing.
Yep. Well, I guess we'll have new Superman next year, and we'll see how that goes.
And we'll see,
Yeah.
I guess.
Who
Man,
knows?
if that movie sucks, I'm going to I better never meet James Gunn because I might be like, you stole this from me for your crappy movie.
Oh man.
Unless it's good. It might be good. I might be like, oh, cool, another good Superman thing.
I hope it's good.
I want it to be good. I'm not rooting against it.
Yeah.
I'm just joking around.
But that would be kind of funny. Where it's just like, really? Are you kidding me? It's like you took the J.J. Abrams script,
No!
Tony and Kung Fu.
Take that back.
Oh man. I'm sure it's not that.
No. It might be something worse.
I mean, we will see. We will see. But I guess with that being said, that's the Out of Touch podcast this week. Watch Superman and Lois. It's really good.
Absolutely. Tyler Hoechlin started out as a silhouette played by some other guy, came to Supergirl.
You forget that for a while he was Superman with giant ass.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember like when he first showed up as Superman for some reason like his butt looked super big and everybody was calling him like Big Butt Superman for a while?
No?
Well, that happened.
Up, and away.
Why won't you die?